Hello everyone and welcome back. Crosstown Gamer here, and today we're going to continue our playthrough of A Distant Plain, Insurgency in Afghanistan. This is Volume 3 in the Coin series by GMT, and we are just past our first propaganda card in this playthrough here that we're doing. So we just finished up the propaganda card last time, and I'm going to have to apologize again for the delay in between videos. I'm going to keep doing that as I continue to have to live life and work gets busy and stuff. So sorry for the delay between videos, but here we are. Let's get right back into it. Just to remind everyone where we're at, too. So we just did the prop card. I'm playing as the coalition pieces, so these tan kind of mustardy pieces, or like melted popcorn butter, I don't know, versus the other factions that are played by the bots at this point in time. So, the first card that came out after the propaganda round was the crop substitution, and the government player is up first, and they are indeed eligible. So let's see. I think that means that they're probably going to play the event. Let's double check to make sure. So if the current card's momentum or capability, see that, but it's not. It's a regular event. Play the unshaded part if it's going to shift any of those things, basically the win condition or resources. If it's going to help the government player in any way, then we're going to do it, the event. Or if it's going to place government pieces or afford the government a free ops or a special activity, we're going to do it. And the Taliban's not a player, so we're not going to worry about shifting the Islamabad whatsoever. So let's take a look at the unshaded part. Government free eradicates, so the free keyword there to that special activity is going to indicate that we are indeed going to do the event because we are affording them a free special activity. They're going to free eradicate in any one province with government cubes. So normally the eradicate, let's take a look at it actually. The eradicate special activity has a special qualifier for where it can be done, and it's with coin control, government cubes, and warlord bases. This is just saying to do it in any one province with government cubes and remove all the warlord pieces there. So typically what this is going to do is it's going to shift all these things, +3 aid, +1 patronage, remove one of the bases, shift one toward opposition, and if it's Pashtun, place a Taliban guerrilla. So great way to get rid of warlord bases. But this is just going to say anywhere where there's cubes. So there doesn't have to be coin control. There doesn't have to be a warlord base. The place that they're going to try to do this in, man, they would really love to do it here. There's no cubes there, because that would just take away all of the warlord pieces there. That would be insanity. But they can't do it there. So they want to go in a place where this would have some kind of an effect. So it needs to have both government cubes and warlord pieces, preferably warlord bases. So already I can see a spot up here. That's a good candidate. We've got cubes, a base here, some warlord pieces. Here as well, we have a cube and some warlord pieces also. I don't think anywhere else on the map. I guess technically here, but I don't think they would prioritize that because they're not removing a base. The AI loves to remove the bases, if possible. So, and between these two, I think they would want to remove the most of the opposing faction and also do it in such a place that's the highest population. I guess technically though, if they removed these two pieces here, then the coin would have control. They might want that because that's part of their victory condition. They might get 2 there. So let's double check the special instructions for this in case it narrows it down further. Otherwise, we'll look to the rules. So this is card number 49, and 47 goes straight to 50. So there's no special instructions for this particular event, which means let's look in the rules. I'll pause 1 second while I get the rules out. Okay, so here we are with the non-player events and the who and where. they're going to benefit themselves before anyone else. That's what this sentence is saying. And then for free operations or special activities, which is what we're doing here, we're doing a free eradicate. Use that faction's flowchart. Then, if needed, the general priorities in 8.2.1, which is 8.2. Oh, geez Louise. These ones. So, like, remove the most pieces, that kind of thing. There's some general guidelines here. But because this is a free eradicate, then we're going to use the flowchart. And then, only then, if we can't narrow it down if needed, we can use the general priorities. So for the government, eradicate, this flowchart wants to go at places with opposition first. And of the two possible locations, or sorry, technically three possible locations. Of the two possible locations, this one is at opposition. So that's what they want to do it here. That's the first one there. So that's what they'll do. They will, let's look at the eradicate procedure. So in each space, it's just the one space. +3 aid, +1 patronage. Let's do that first. Aid goes up to 36. Patron goes up to 9, which means coin plus patron goes up to 26. If I can do it. It's kind of a stretch for me, sorry. Remove the base, but it says remove all the Warlord pieces. And we're going to shift it one level toward opposition. It's already at opposition. And then if it's a Pashtun space, we're going to place a Taliban guerrilla. So let's do that now. We will remove this. We will remove that. And we'll bring that back down. And they don't need bases to win, but they can use their bases to get a bunch of resources or whatever it was with their other special stuff. We are doing the event. Oh yeah, it is Pashtun because it's that green bordered background there, so they are going to place Taliban guerrilla. Now what's interesting here is no longer is it uncontrolled. The Taliban have one piece and the coin factions have two pieces, so this is coin controlled, which is good for the government player. It's a 2 population zone, so the coin plus patron goes up by 2. Up to 28, and really they only need 36, so they're not too terribly far behind their actual victory margin there. So yeah, that was the event. Then on the next player to go is going to be the Warlords. I almost called them the Syndicate there. So the Warlords have this side, yeah. Their priorities. They're not going to do the event, and they have more than 0 resources, so they're not going to pass. So we're going to go down to the if none. Is Rally going to replace guerrillas with a base? So in order for that to happen, they need at least 3, I believe. Yeah, 3+ Warlord guerrillas in a spot and with room for a base. This is the only spot that would be possible, but they've already overloaded on their bases, or they've loaded up on those, so this is going to be a no. Player victory margin positive. No, we are currently not winning, so this is a no. They're going to march. They're going to leave 1 or 2, but 1 in this case, because that one special activity, the capability find fix is not in play. So it's just 1. And they're going to march out from underground first, from each base space. They're going to leave 2 on lines of communication. So yeah, they're going to leave 1 at each base to cover their bases, 2 on the locks, unless they're 45 over resources, and they're only at 25 resources up there. And they're going to create no control. So that means they can't march out enough units to where coin would have control, something like that. They're going to get 1 underground guerrilla to each Warlord base where no such Warlord guerrilla is there. So this is just, they want to protect any bases that are unprotected. Every one of their bases on the map currently has underground guerrillas there, so they don't need to worry about that. First priority. They're going to get exactly 2 guerrillas onto each reachable line of communication, marching their active ones first. But because we're at the beginning of this campaign, we just did the propaganda card. all of their guerrillas are underground. Oh, which reminds me, I think these should have been underground too. Yeah, I think I said I would promise that I would flip these over, and I didn't do that off camera. Like a numpty. Okay. Yeah, all of these above ground active ones should have been reset in the reset phase of the propaganda card. So sorry for that. Okay, so they want to get exactly 2 guerrillas onto each reachable line of communication. So they already have 2 here. They can get 2 here by marching from this location. So this location, it's free to march onto lines of communication, I believe. Let's double check that march priorities here. Yeah, lock destination is 0. So it's only 1 per non-lock destination. So they got 2 onto there. Here's another one. They can't get 2 onto it because they can only get 1 onto it from here. The other adjacent regions, divisions, what are they called? Provinces, sorry. The other adjacent provinces do not have any Warlord pieces. Down here, similarly, okay. I think that's the only one then that they could have gotten onto. Great. Then, unless the last campaign, which it's not, 3+ Warlord guerrillas from multiple random sources if needed into each reachable 1+ population space with room for a base. Okay, where are the 1+ population spaces with room for a base? They can draw from here because they only need to leave 1 behind. So here's a location they could go to with room for a base. This one they could get to. This one they could get to. The other locations, though, they're too far away to be able to do anything there. So there's 1, 2, 3 possible spaces where they could march 2 in to be able to get 3 pieces in that with room for a base. So it says highest population first, then where there's no coalition. Highest population is going to be this one because it's got 4. Next highest would be this one. So they will march 3 guerrillas. They want to get 3+, creating no control. It says get 3+, and I think they want. So this will get them to 3, and this will cost them a resource. So let's do that now. They have a total of 2 more that they are capable of moving into there if they need to. They would do that as long as no one would gain control of this space, and they would cause this to lose control here. But there's 7 pieces, and we have a maximum of 5 that could go in there, so that's not going to happen. However, now they've gotten 3+ pieces into that. They can also get... Ooh, no, they can only get 2 into this. But they can also get 3+ pieces into this. And the reason I'm not stopping and moving on is because it says into each reachable 1+ pop. So that means more than 1. They can go from here. This is already at coin control, so not creating control. They can go 1 there and then 2 from here. Multiple sources is fine. This is still uncontrolled because there's only 1 coalition piece and 3 warlord piece. And then up here, they've got 3 in a 1+ pop zone as well. So this is a second resource that they will pay for. Then they're going to remove the most control, which they can't do. Nope, they can't do it. Then if we're in a loop, which we're not. So that's their march. They're going to go with, because they get to do a special activity as well. With Warlords at 43+ resources. No, they're at 23, so this is a no. They will cultivate 1 space where 1+ stuff. Warlords outnumber police and selected for rally or march. Okay, so the cultivate is going to be A province selected for rally or march must have greater than 0 population and more warlord guerrillas than police. So they will cultivate. Wait, if last campaign, nope, okay. Where there's a warlord base already. So where did we select for the march? We marched into this region and we marched into this region. Neither of those have a base already. Oh my gosh, my phone's blowing up. I'm sure I'm in a group chat or something. This is ridiculous. So if I'm a little distracted, I'm sorry. Warlord base already. Where there's no warlord base. Okay, within 2, 3, and 4 at the highest population. Okay, so they can't do it in a spot with a warlord base because they didn't march to any places with warlord bases. So they're going to do number 3, and they're only going to do this in one spot. So it's going to be at the highest population where there's no warlord base selected for the march. So here or here, this is the highest population, so that's where they'll go. And they're going to... Oh no, it has to have room, right? Oh no, it does have room. It has to have more guerrillas than police. So here they have more guerrillas than the one police. So they get to place a base there. Oh, I thought this was I think that's called extort. I thought this was the resources one. But nope, sure enough, they get to place a base there. Big old bun town. All right. And they don't even have to activate anyone. That's trash. Okay. That was their special activity. We will adjust our eligibility here. Moving right along, and we will play Hazara. Hazara! Okay, and then number 2 is dead is the following card. So, we may wish to... I mean, I know the Taliban are up first on this card. It's possible we might want to pass if that next card is really good for us. We won't actually lose any momentum because either we're going here or we're going up here. I guess technically we'll lose a little bit of momentum because we'll be ineligible for this card, but then eligible for the next card versus it's a bit of a gamble waiting for this card, not knowing what the following card will be. So that's a little bit of what the strategy is. Let's at least read this card too. In each of 2 non-Pashtun mountain spaces, if Taliban is present, set to opposition, then if warlord pieces exceed government, remove pieces. Okay. So this is a good Taliban card, I think, because it's setting a bunch of stuff to opposition. And then I don't think they care so much whether or not they're adding government pieces or warlord pieces, but regardless, the Taliban are up first. Let's see if they do the event. They're on the back of this fold out. So they're going to play the shaded part if it's effective, and the card, either part, could shift, opposition, remove coalition pieces. It could do some of that stuff. Oh no, if Taliban are present, set to opposition. So, and it's 2 mountain non-Pashtun spaces. Okay, there actually aren't that many of those. I don't know if this will be an effective event for them. For example, so the mountain hexes look like this dark, really dark or semi-dark, this kind of color or this color texture on the map. And so any 2 non-Pashtun mountain spaces. So what are our options here? None of the green stuff. So we can do this one, this one, this one, this one. These 3 as well. And then the rest of them are Pashtun. And the Taliban aren't in any of those. So it's not going to shift opposition. And it's not going to... it's not going to shift support down. It's not going to shift opposition up. It's not going to shift Taliban resources. It's not going to place bases or remove coalition pieces. So I think this is a no. This is a none. Which is good. It leaves us open for stuff, I guess. Actually, that's probably bad because that means they're not taking the event, which means they're going to take this. And that means that we are either going to do the event, which we don't really want to do, or we will do a limited operation. So I think we will end up probably passing on this one. But let's see. Terror would shift 3+ opposition and support combined. Let's again look at the terror op. This is in spaces with underground Taliban guerrillas. They already kind of went on an opposition streak last time, but 1 resource per, and they're at 21. So activated an underground Taliban guerrilla. Add a terror marker, shift toward opposition. Or if it's on a line of communication, they can place sabotage. Great. So would they be able to place do this basically in 3 spots? They can do it here. Yeah, I mean, yes. They can do it in a lot of places. So I think this is a yes. Man, maybe I should have been the Taliban in this game. I feel like they have it easy. They just have to do the terror op and then call it a day. They're going to end up winning this game, aren't they? Oh, man. Am I just terrible at these games? Oh, my God. Without exposing the last underground guerrilla. Okay, that's interesting. So it's wood shift, which means that we can't take into account exposing the last underground guerrilla at a Taliban base. And then they're going to do it at support and then at neutral. So the locations now, this is the last one. This is the last one with a base. Last one, last one, last one. There's no base here. They could do it, but there's yeah, okay. So never mind. They're not going to do this. Yeah, I guess that would kind of leave them open to us doing an assault or something and then just like completely taking out all their bases, which would actually be pretty awesome. So this is actually a no. Are there 15+ guerrillas available, or a rally would place a base? They have, it looks like 10 to me available. Would a rally place a base? And that's going to place, they're going to place bases where there's 3+ guerrillas. And so this is a spot. So yeah, I guess a rally would place a base. They'll rally. I don't know. Like, do they want to go there? I guess they do. They don't care about the population. They just care about the bases itself. So at Taliban bases with no guerrillas, those don't exist on the map. Luckily for them, they have all their bases covered, literally. Okay. At 3+ guerrillas, place a base. Pakistan first. So they can go here, here, not there. So Pakistan first, they want to place bases there. So they will replace these 2 with a base, replace these 2 with a base. I'm trying to see. Yeah, 3+ guerrillas base. Yeah, I guess a max of 6 bases. So they're going to keep doing this until they're not able to anymore. 6 bases. Regardless of control. Okay. At 3+, yeah. So they did those 2, and then they're going to do it here as well, and place their base there. So that was 3 of their bases, so they get to go up under here. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, you can't see that. They were underneath the uncontrolled pop. They placed 3 bases, so they get to do that. Because if you recall, if at each location they can replace 2 with a base. Okay, so they did that, and that was 3 spots out of their possible 6. Then, where all Taliban are active, they're not active anywhere. In Kabul, if there are no underground Taliban already, they're going to go there. So they only get to place 1 guerrilla there, but they will do so. And let's double check. We have 7 pieces to the other faction, or to the Taliban's 1. So, but there's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other things there. So we still have control as the coin. 7 to 5. That was rally. So they did that. That's a 4th spot. And in up to 2 spaces at neutral, no coalition, and no Taliban. Yeah, let me just double check. The rally is in Pashtun or non-support provinces. Yeah, so they were allowed to do that in any of their spots. Or Kabul. Okay. So up to 2 spaces at neutral, no coalition, and no Taliban. 2 spaces, neutral, no coalition, no Taliban. Nope. I was thinking here. This isn't at neutral. This one up here is not Pashtun, so they can't go there. I don't think there's any spot that they can do that for that particular criteria. I guess this one has no Taliban, no coalition. It is neutral. It's Pashtun space. So, and then at highest pop between those 2. They've gone to 4 spaces. They can go to 6. So actually, I do think that they can go here and here. So they will. Boop, boop. Interesting that they don't want to go to their base spots and like try to gain more support. Or not support, control. But whatever. This is the way that it reads. That's 6 spots. Oh, and then only if we make it all the way down to there that they're going to be able to do it. So it's oh yeah, and then just to double check, the rally is not. Oh Christ. Okay, so Taliban rally to and march to and from Pakistan. So rally in Pakistan costs 0 resources. So that's why they wanted to do it here. So those 2 spots did not count for anything, but they did it in 4 other spots. So it's going to cost them a total of 4 resources, down to 17. And then that was their rally. Then they will extort on 3 or 4 lines of communication. In each space, activate the guerrilla. Take 2 warlord resources per warlord base. Add 1 or unsabotage locks, econs, and resources. Yeah, so they want to do it at the 3 or the 4. And they want to do it at the 3 or the 4. Where's the 3 and the 4? Here's the 3 down here. It's unsabotaged. The 4 is up there. They don't have any guerrillas there, but they can do it on the 3. So the procedure is to activate. Oh wait, they need more Taliban than the enemy, so they don't have that criteria because there are 2 police there policing the Taliban. So they can't do it on the 3 and they can't do it on the 4. So if none, they'll infiltrate. Let's look at infiltrate. Any space with underground guerrilla, they can remove 2 non-coalition pieces there or replace 1 with a Taliban guerrilla, reduce patronage, -1 for each government piece removed. So in 1 space, they can select to remove the most player spaces, but the infiltrate said remove 2 non-coalition pieces, so they can't do that. Then they're going to remove as many government pieces as possible, then warlord pieces, and then so they'll want to pick a spot with an underground Taliban guerrilla that has government pieces. So that's quite a few of them on the board. Let's keep going. They're going to remove the most pieces if the government player. So they need to be able to remove 2 pieces. That's still quite a few places. Remove faction's last piece in a space. But the most pieces is 2, and so for here, there's no spot with exactly 2 government cubes. There's a spot with 1, so you could remove the last one from here, but it doesn't have the most government pieces. So the first criteria would have weeded that one out already. Then at the highest population or econ. So I think it's going to be here. They're going to remove... they're going to remove 2 government cubes from there, which will be 1 of each, because remember they like to split them up. 1 and 1. And now here there's 5 and 5, so this is actually not coin controlled anymore. This is uncontrolled. There's 5 coin pieces and 5 non-coin pieces there. So that's whopping 4 points that they just took away from... 1, 2, 3, 4 from the government player. And if we read the infiltrate... Oh, I don't know if they want to replace. They just want to remove. They're not looking to replace. Yeah, they don't have to activate or anything. Then reduce patronage by -1 for each government piece removed. So they remove this another 2 points away from the government player. Man, so strong. That was their infiltrate. That was picking from those spots. If it didn't specify highest population or econ, and we still had a bunch of spaces to pick from, then we would have gone with the random selection. All right. So that was Operation plus Special Activity. Let's read the next event. Remove a Taliban piece from Pakistan. Subtract a die roll from Taliban resources. That's decent, I guess. Because we could remove potentially a bunch of resources from them, and we get to remove one of their bases. That's not like super powerful though. I wonder if it would be more worthwhile to instead... Well, either way, I think we're going to pass because this card is garbage and then we're going to be up first on the next card. So we're going to pass. We get a +3 resources to the government faction. And so they go up to 42. And then we can adjust eligibility, and now there's 3 eligible factions, and the Taliban are ineligible. We'll play the next card, which is number 2 is dead. We can make a decision next time on that one. And then the following card is Special Forces. See, we're up first on this card too. Coalition removes 2 insurgent pieces from within 1 space of its troops. These cards are fine. It's not like they're bad. It's just you don't want to lose a bunch of tempo playing the events when you could be, sweeping and rallying and all those other fun things. Either way, I think that's a good place to call it for this episode. We got through a couple of cards. And next time we will start off with number 2 is dead. I think we got through a couple of cards. Yeah, we did. And we can make a decision on if we want to do this event or something else. But hopefully this has been helpful, and I will do my very best to try to pump these out with a little greater frequency. But thank you for watching. As always, if you notice any rules, mistakes, anything like that, please do note that in the comments. I might not see it for a video or two, so I might not be able to correct that exact mistake. However, it's good for me to be able to not make that same mistake going forward. So I really do appreciate that. But otherwise, hope everyone has a great rest of the day, week, rest of your life. And I'll see you next time. This has been Crosstown Gamer with a Distant Plane. Bye.